I'm joined with Oscar Enriquez, and he's going to represent the student voice and give us the student experience on the First2 club on the WVU campus. And then we're sharing our time with Dr. Sinish Ray and Elizabeth Lowe at WVU Tech to tell us a little bit about their club. Okay, so the WVU First2 is part of the WVU Engage, and this WVU Engage has over 400 clubs that are recognized. The WVU chapter of First2 has been part of WVU Engage. There's a process that has to be taken to be recognized as part of WVU Engage, and we've been part of that part of WVU Engage since 2019. So this is our third year in running the First2 club. And we did, very well during that COVID year. It was all online through Zoom, but we kept it going weekly. And so how the students wrote up the advertisement for the First2 club is that the First2 network is a student-led group of first-generation college students in STEM majors. Our goal is to provide a fun, educational, and social space for all first-gen STEM majors to support each other and to share out experiences with other students. And so to be part of WVU Engage, we have to have a constitution, and the students wrote out this constitution, and I underlined what are the most significant components of the constitution, and really that guides our mission in the club. One is to find a sense of belonging in college, to become more involved within the campus, to obtain leadership skills, to meet professors, other students, share experiences with high school students, and this is through the ambassador program, with elected officials, and educating students about programs that WVU has to offer to enhance the college experience. And with that, make a change within the system that creates the struggles that we face, and to provide opportunities to make the first gen and other underrepresented students' voices heard. So we have elected officers. We have a president, and that's Jordan Means, and she's right here. And beside her, in this really pretty great picture, is the vice president, Autumn Rogers. We have a treasurer, Matthew Rexroad. Secretary is Aubrey Cumberledge, and we have two social media chairs, Garrett Bender. We heard from Garrett yesterday, and we're going to be hearing from Oscar Enriquez, the second social media chair, in a second. In 2021, we have 28 members. We meet weekly, and we meet either on Wednesdays or Thursday nights. So we rotate through those to try to accommodate as many people as possible to be part of the club. And our meeting time is 7 to 8 p.m. Most of our meetings this year have been person to person. So we have tried to keep most of our meetings outside. And if they are inside, we do encourage, there was a mask mandate, but we, of course, wear masks. Some of those meetings were, a few of them were hybrid in terms of trying to accommodate other students. And I think one of them in the beginning was Zoom. So most of them have been person to person. And 13 out of the 28 students, this represents about 46% of the students, attend most of the meetings, with most of the meetings being defined as 50% or greater of the meetings. So the student demographics, the most of them are freshmen. We have a big chunk of freshmen. And this is, I think that this is a big feeder through the immersion program. And then we also have sophomores as well as juniors, pretty equally represented, with a lower representation of seniors. And in terms of majors, we have immunology and medical microbiology majors, biology, biochemistry, psychology, and engineering majors. I'm sorry, my Surrey is going crazy right now, so I apologize for that. Other majors include forensics, environmental micro, horticulture, environmental water and soil sciences, environmental geosciences, and computer science. And so the aims of our club are one, that it's student-led, and I can't say enough about how much ownership the students have had in the club and how many leadership opportunities have been offered to the students by the first two programs. I'm really witnessing the benefits from these leadership opportunities and self-confidence growing. We aim to provide a self-relatable social support network where there is a sense of belonging. And so we know social integration is a major challenge for first-gen students, and we try to counter the social isolation, which can erode mental health. We also share difficulties. And so sharing difficulties is something that's really important to us, that we are very open to questions that we think that continuing generation students can obtain from other sources. So anything across the social, academic to professional gamut, we can, are questions that the club can tackle. And of course, we celebrate victories. We try to inspire others, so others that self-identify as first-generation college students, including myself. The juniors are pretty spectacular in this club, inspiring others, and I think Oscar's going to talk a little bit about that. And we try to chip away at what we see as varying levels of academic preparedness that the students are coming in with. So study habits, organization, we really try to emphasize these skills. So some of the top events that we thought, I thought was definitely worth mentioning is this first two mental health awareness seminar that was spearheaded by juniors Aubrey Cumberledge, Jordan Means, and Autumn Rogers. And this was a seminar that was pretty well attended. There was over 30 individuals that were attending across the state. And we invited professional counselors, Tyler Colley and Susan Millam, to talk about mental health, the importance of maintaining mental health, what we can do to maintain mental health, what to do with what to do if we're struggling with mental health, and skills in maintaining mental health hygiene. And some other notable accomplishments is the cloud-based. And if anybody's interested, we have these kind of documents. One was created by Jordan Means and Gabby Browski. Jordan Means is in the first two club at WVU. Gabby Browski is at Fairmount State. And it's a pamphlet that discusses what we wish we would have known. And a second document, 20 things that I wish I knew as a freshman. And so these both are available on the cloud, and I would be very open to sharing these documents. And then another notable accomplishment, the last one that I'll mention, is a STEM starter package that was created by Aubrey Cumberledge and Autumn Rogers. And this is really nice because, again, it tries to tackle this differing levels of academic preparedness, and they share fundamental knowledge for preliminary STEM classes and what they think is really instrumental to getting a good start in these classes. And with that, I'll let Oscar talk.
Yes, my name is Oscar Enriquez, and I'm looking into majoring in forensics at WVU. I'm also one of the social media chairs for the WVU club. So for campus clubs in general are especially ones like ours are very important to students. When you think of first generation students, the first thing that may come to mind, would be that they're the first in their family to, go to college in general. And this honestly leaves a kind of an experiment knowledge gap, especially when they come in, because they don't have anybody to really look back on or look at and like, hey, how do I do this? How do I handle these situations? And so our campus club is definitely very important with that. So basically, in our group we have study groups. So as Rita was talking about earlier, we this semester we have been kind of going back and forth Wednesdays and Thursdays. Today is actually one of those days where we do sort of like a group tutoring. And so this kind of basically this gives like the freshmen and pretty much the underclassmen, it kind of gives them definitely a bit of like a confidence boost because as like a student in our earlier years, it was more, I don't want to say it was more of like you were told not to, but I feel like we were in like an environment that just didn't promote, you know, group activity. So to study with other people kind of definitely opens some of these students up, you know, especially the ones that are in similar classes and similar, you know, when they're there, they have the chance to meet, you know, individuals in their major as well. You know, you'd be surprised about, you know, how many different majors that we have in we have in our for campus discussions. Usually as a club, we coordinate on an app called Group Me. But when we're in person, usually on Thursdays, we meet and discuss problems on campus. And for me as a student, I think that's one of the most important things because it helps the students with their frustrations. And we have one Rita, and she kind of, you know, calms down. It's like, hey, how can we, you know, what area can we focus on to help fix this? You know, what can we as, you know, students and faculty do to kind of fix this problem? So that definitely, you know, for freshmen and sophomore, that's definitely, you know, really, you know, good to hear that we can, you know, I think as, you know, first generation student and as a college student, we may feel like we don't have as much power as we do. So it's good to be, you know, in an environment that promotes that. For upperclassmen support, usually we have Aubrey and Jordan, and they're important assets to the freshmen and sophomore as well because they're that middle ground between we don't know anything to what, you know, our some of our, you know, futures will look like, you know, in terms of class. We're definitely you know, constantly communicating, you know, in our little groups. So you know, we've run into issues with like scheduling, and usually it's kind of like we all just, you know, put our opinion in, or Jordan be like, hey, you can do this. So it's more of like it's definitely more of like an not an opinion thing, but it's more of they have experience and are just helping like apply it. And so I think that freshmen and sophomores definitely feel a lot more comfortable because we have, you know, we have both of them. We have Jordan and Autumn. And then, like I was talking about earlier, we have the networking and the group support. So we have that kind of group me type group. It's I want to say it's like Slack if you've ever used it, but it's more center line. So there's only like one chat and that's it.
And that's WVU First2.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Lowe. I am a sophomore information system at WVU Tech. The First2 Club at Tech is relatively young. Our club was established in the fall of 2020. Due to COVID, we weren't that active until the spring of 2021. That is when we actually started doing activity outside of the classroom setting at a club. The primary purpose of our club is to provide peer support to one another, participate in stress-reducing activities, and help lower the boundary that most first gen or underrepresented students face when they enter college. Next slide. Our club is starting off on a stronger foot this year. We are now officially established at a WVU Tech student organization that allow us to be involved with tech events. So for example, this year we were able to be a part of the involvement fair and enable us to get funding support from the university. Since we are part of the university and FERT2, we follow all protocol for both organizations. Here is a picture of the elected officers for the year. From left to right at me, and then Tyler Kibler and Josiah Baker. I am the president of our club. Josiah is our vice president, and he also acts as our secretary. And then Tyler Kibler is our treasurer. Josiah and I, in addition, we both run the club Instagram page. So one of the proudest things about our club is we grew in size since last year. So last year we had around 5 active members, and now we have 8. We have a variety of majors in our club, from computer science, information systems, mechanical engineering, forensics, psychology, and chemical engineering. The club consists of 3 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and we have 1 senior. Our club meetings, our club meetings are held weekly, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. A typical club meeting will be going over the business of FERT2 for the first 20 minutes, and then the rest of the hour we usually try to do a activity, so like play a card game, playing chess, or do a jackpot game afterward, just to relieve stress for the week. At a club, we try to do it outing once a month. Last year we went mini golfing and we did a escape room. This year, we went to a petting zoo that Tech offered, and we went hiking at Beauty Mountain in Fayetteville, West Virginia. One future event that we are excited to participate in is Trunk or Treat here at Tech. And in the spring of 2022, we are planning an industry visit to Solvay Technology Solutions. Our club only have 1 social media account with an Instagram account. We post most of our outing and events on Instagram, so if you want to stay updated on what our club does, it's a perfect place to go. And then one exciting thing that Josiah and I are working on this semester is a PDA with a plan to study at cycle. Our PDA is called the Evaluation of Development Student Study Habits. The PDA cycle will run for 3 weeks. It will start next week with October 25th. So the premise of the PDA is that on every Monday of the week, we send out a survey to the students, and we just ask them, do you have any homework, quizzes, tests for the week? If they do, how long are you planning to study or work on that assignment? And then that following Friday, we will send out another survey saying, hey, how long did you study for that assignment? Did you work? How long did it take to study for the assignment? Did you follow the plan that you originally told yourself on Monday? This cycle will be a run to see if planning how long you study for helps student study habits. Sometimes people say, oh, I'm going to study for 2 hours, but then they didn't. And does that reflect on your performance? Some learning questions that we are trying to answer. The first one is, will we do this? Will Josiah and I send out the survey every Monday and every Friday? The second question is asking if the student will do this. So how much participation rate are we going to get back from this survey? We are a small club. We are planning to do 4 students. So what will be the participation rate from that? And the lat learning question we're trying to figure out is, will it be helpful? Will this cycle help students reflect more on their study field? Hopefully from this cycle, the student can identify problems in their study field, and by the help of peers, we are able to help them improve their study field.
Thank you, Elizabeth. My name is Sunny Stry. I'm the faculty advisor for WVUIT Student Club. So we wanted to do a quick student survey for just our club to see how this club has improved the STEM persistence, and we just put a quick survey with these questions that we are focusing on, such as increased sense of belonging and self-efficacy, awareness of supports level, and so on. And we did a quick survey, and we just computed the average. And I think sense of belonging and efficacy, I think it's actually good. Increased awareness of supports available, I guess, could be better. Increased identity as a STEM student or professional, I think it's good. And mainly, I think increased connection with peers, which is one of the purpose of this club. Actually, it's a high rated, which we are really, I think it's really good. And obviously, increased connection with faculty and staff is at this lower point. And the main reason is, I guess, or the reason is because we are just actively starting this semester, and we actually have not brought any faculty or staff in the club yet, which we are actually planning to do. So we got some comments as well, and so offer more opportunities for students to engage in jobs internships, other more opportunities to meet industry professionals related to their field, more tutoring opportunities, and how to have more faculty involved. So trivia, so I think it's a good idea having some trivia with faculty. Every other meeting have a faculty come in and talk to the students. So these are some of the comments we received, and we're planning to incorporate those things in our club events as well. So one of the things that we really wanted to implement and we discussed was to have a way that we can connect our students with the industry. So one of the good way was to have an industry visit, just go and talk with the person to meet professionals from their fields. So Elizabeth and Josiah actually actively pursued in this, and they set up actually an industry visit. So because of this COVID protocol, so we are actually moving to spring. So in spring 2022, they are going to Solway Willow Island, which is a large facility that manufactures specialty chemicals. And so they are working with Craig Thomas from industry, First2 Industry Advisory Board, who is a quality manager at Solway Technology Solutions. I'm not sure if he's here or not. So according to the email, so they will be given exposure to STEM graduates and have a platform to ask questions about education career paths, and also give a view into both manufacturing and laboratory settings on an industry scale. So in future, we would like to visit more places where we can have all the club members, like depending on their area, and try to go and see an area where they might actually pursue a job later on. I think it will be very helpful for their professional growth, as well as get job much quicker than they would get. So then we wanted to present this common PDF. So this is not only for WVUIT, but this is for all the First2 student clubs. So at after the end of the summer immersive in 2021, we actually thought that might be good to just do one general PDSA. So the goal is to create a social space which is safe, encouraging, and open to allow students to have a home that can minimal user response. Students can connect with other students. So with that purpose, now we actually have just 4 questions, and all of the clubs are actually working on this PDSA. So you want to check how many students attend, how useful do students find the meetings overall, to what degree are this club student led, and if it is the right balance. So all of them are doing that, and we actually can see the results as well. So far WVUIT has done this survey 2 times, and we are planning to again continue every month. So that is the plan. At the end, we are going to collect all the data, and we hope to have a really good result on our what we did, and maybe how we can improve the First2 student clubs in the future. So with that, we are at the end of the time, I guess. So we are open to any questions.
Thank you all very much. The one question that was noted, most of the comments in the chat you can look at, and it's just how excited we are for what you're doing and how wonderful it's been, and very inspiring. But the one question was that I saw posted in the chat was related to Rita, when you said that you had students that developed the what we wish we had known and the 20 things I wish I'd known as a freshman. There was a question of whether or not we could post those to the First2 website. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure that the students would be willing to share. They're on the cloud right now, so all we need to do is just get you the link. So
that would be great.
if it's okay with the students, then I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And
It's
there was a lot of,
actually, oops,
sorry, go ahead, Sue Ann.
we've uploaded them to our media directory inside of the website that hadn't posted them yet. So Rita, you could post that question at a club meeting, and if the answer is yes, we can do it real quick.
Perfect. Yeah, they're great documents, so I hope to make it happen.